Good evening, everyone. Hello,
Good
good evening.
evening.
Welcome to the session. We are meeting after a long, long time. And this time we have Anne and Anushka with us. They are two talented people from Christ University, and they'll be taking you through the session. So, Anne and Anushka, over to you. You can introduce yourself and introduce the topic, and we'll take it from there.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Before we start and before we, introduce what we are doing today and what we are aiming for us to help reach to you, we are doing a small, very small activity. We will be very happy if you could turn on your videos and we could see your lovely faces. We would love to interact with you. So it's a small activity, does not need you to switch on your cameras, but we would love to see you. So it's a small activity where I just say a word. So basically, if um, I will nominate someone. If not nominate, I will start with the word and say something about it. For example, I say sky. Sky is the word that I say, and then I say something related to it. I say it's blue. Okay. So, for example, I say that, and then blue is the last word that I say. So, the last word, last letter of the word blue is something that the other person has to describe something related to or some other word that you can say. For example, I said sky and it is blue, and the last letter is E. So, Anne will go ahead with, telling something with E and will describe something related to it, which will
Okay.
then go on and carry forward, and then someone else will say something related to whatever she says. So
Okay.
add
So
something
E.
with E.
Okay. E. The word I'll go with evaporate. So
Okay.
water evaporates fast. Okay. So T. Who would like to take up the next word? If
Anybody who would
yeah,
go next, who would like to go next? You can also use a chat box. It's not necessary for you to,
unmute.
yeah.
So like if anybody wants to volunteer, they can, or else like I'll be going to the participant list and picking out names
Can
in a
I
time.
say transport?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Go
over to
ahead.
you, right? So transport and maybe a car.
Oh, nice. Transport and car. So the last word is R. The last letter is R.
R.
Anybody who wants to go with R?
R for river.
Okay.
Okay.
Again R.
Yeah.
Rainbow.
Rainbow. Thank you, Nidhi, for rainbow. Anybody who would like to go with W?
White.
We have Kiran, Maham, and Madhurima.
A lot of words. We have rabbit, watch, window, winter. Okay.
Okay. Um,
So
so we
we'll
can
take
go
the
with,
last.
yeah, winter. Oh, we have another one.
Okay,
Sabira
it's
said
win.
wind.
Okay, we'll go with N. Now,
And
anybody else would like to go with N? Oh,
nest, nose.
no.
Thank you, Kiran. Thank you, Maham. Nose is the last word that's there. So we end up with E again that we started with. Nap. Um,
We came with year. We are on R. Oh, yeah, right now in
elbow.
L.
W.
Okay, it's a W. Okay, now
W
that's the
once more.
last letter right now.
Anybody with W? V. Thank you,
We.
Zishan. V. So it's E again. Anybody who would like to go with E? Welcome.
Elephant.
Elephant.
Energy.
Energy. Egg. Oh, nice.
It's a G.
I'm out of words though, but I love how enthusiastic people are. Um, Zishan has said, "Oh, we already have a word with G. Gate.
Gate.
Nice. Anybody? We will end it with this, and then we'll start the session. So anybody at last with E? Any words that are coming to your ear? Anybody else who would like to? Zishan is quite enthusiastic. Uh, enjoy, empathy, ethnic. Wow. Thank you for the lovely responses. Anybody else who would like to go with the, E, letter E? And then we'll wrap it up and then we'll start with the session. Any more responses, guys?
Easy.
Easy. Thank you, Grishma.
Emotions.
Emotions. We have a very diverse set of words, to be honest. I didn't hope for deep words like empathy, emotions, and there are words that we could look upon. So thank you for the lovely responses, guys. We will now be starting with the session today that we are trying to focus on, and Anne will be taking ahead the introduction part, and then we'll eventually join you later. I'll be eventually joining you later. So Anne, please take ahead, and we will be now sharing the screen of the
Yes,
presentation
I'll
as well.
just share the screen of the presentation. I hope it's visible. Yeah, so once again, I would like to welcome you all to this session. So as you all know that we are amidst a pandemic, and uh, this pandemic is prevailing, and we are seeing how it's continuing, and we're seeing how we are trying to adapt through this pandemic period. So it's very important to understand what all issues we regularly face and or else we are having throughout this pandemic and how we can overcome it. It's very important to understand that what exactly this pandemic is. We all are aware of it. We have been going through it from quite some time, and we know how things started during 2019, and it's almost to we are here towards the end of 2021, and how things have changed within during the pandemic, how we have overcome, and what all situations we have been throughout the time, right? And while we were throughout this period, there have been a lot of changes that all of us have gone through. One of the biggest change would be us adapting ourselves to the technology, making use of technology the right way we are doing right now. We all are in different parts of the country, maybe even beyond the country, India. We are from worldwide connecting to each other. We are right now attending this session in itself. So, these are some changes that we have come through, and these are not the only changes. There have been a lot of emotional changes, or a lot of internal changes as well that we have gone through throughout this period of time. And one of those changes which we come across, or we have like heard a lot about, is one word that we come across is depression. And we tend to understand that this word is generally nowadays used by everybody, right? And sometimes the usage of this word is not very much related to what when people are using it, it's not understanding the ultimate meaning of it. Sometimes we tend to use this big word in terms of our daily conversations as well, where we tend to forget कि इस word का मतलब क्या है, what does it actually means. To make a little introduction to what it is, depression is more more than just a feeling, and just a sad feeling. And sometimes we see that it just drains out when a person who feels that his or her optimism, his or her hope towards life, or the energy or the drive to live in is draining, and that they start feeling that there is no way out, that they're not able to understand where is a way out to live. And the feeling of sadness which is elongated for like a long time, that's when we try to understand that there is a sense of that's when we try to relate it to a sense of depression. And it is always seen that even though this is happening, we always have we tend to have a sense of hope, right? So this is what a basic gist is. But before we go ahead, I would like to know like what you all think what depression might be. What is your understanding of depression, or like how familiar are you all with this word? Because it's very important to understand like how familiar are we this with this word. Okay, so we have yeah, you can make use of chat box, or if you want you can unmute yourselves also. So we have one answer which says it's hopelessness. Okay, anybody else who would like to add their view to it? Okay, word seems to be gloomy. Anybody else? Okay, constant sadness where things mean nothing. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, so lethargy or lack of energy. Yeah, these are some of the things that loneliness. Yeah, these are, I think, these certain words, I think, can, if we put it together in a group or in a vast setting, I think these all contribute towards depression, right? So when we closely look about depression is more common, is a common mental health disorder, and we can see that it affects more than 264 million people worldwide every year. I'm sorry. We need to also understand that depression also talks about feeling depressed versus feeling blue. Okay, so when we say feeling depressed versus feeling blue always means that there are life events which are for making us feel sad for a elongated period. At the same time, when we are feeling depressed, it's about a stressful event, or it's about a stressful trigger that we are facing in our life event, which is causing us to be in a state where we feel lethargic, we feel lack of energy, and also where we are in constant sadness or constant phase of life where we feel we are stuck. And it starts to interfere, it becomes problematic when it starts to interfere with our daily functioning. And when we move ahead and when we talk to people about being depressed, or the word in depression itself, most of the time we hear that people feel that if someone is being lazy or they are feeling sadness, that's all that contributes to depression. But that's not what actually depression is. There are a lot of symptoms that contribute towards depression, and we can see those in the screen in front of us. That in the second pie chart, we see there are a lot of things that are contributing towards depression, and these are some common symptoms. And when we talk about symptoms also needs to be, there is a certain time period which is to be followed to understand if the person is actually falling into the state or not. And if we move forward, it's very important to understand that when we talk about depression as a state, when it varies, the symptoms might vary from gender to gender as well as from age to age. And these are few points we can see in front of us, that how it differs when we are trying to understand the symptoms in per se a gender, a male or a female, or in among teens or older adults. These are few symptoms that we come across, and these may vary from, like as said, gender to gender and as well as age wise. And these are certain causes and risk factors that can be a cause for a person to be to fall into this state. And we see that these things have been happening, not all of these things, but yeah, to some an extent certain things have been happening from quite a while in the phase that we have been about from some time. So I would like to ask, like, what do you would anybody like to share their view? Like, what do you think about this situation of COVID, and Can anybody of you try like a little bit connecting that? Do you think there can be a situation of uh, depression, or what do you think about that when you think in terms of COVID-19? Would anybody like to unmute and speak about it once, maybe? Okay, yeah, Anushka, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so COVID had been something that really upturned our lives. I think, if not personally, you might have gone through that. I think there might be a lot of people who would have indirectly gotten hold of that kind of situations during the second wave, or even in the first wave, or in the past few days. COVID has been such a, yeah, Sabina. Isolation might create depression is something we need to look to. But yeah, COVID had been a very different experience. We have never experienced something like that. Being isolated at homes, dealing with all of those thoughts alone by yourself. There were times when I was isolating as well during COVID alone, and
Yes.
it was a very alone time, which was a little heavy for me for the first few days, because there was limited interaction, there was limited talking. It was all through virtual things. uh, I wasn't going out. Everything had changed, so a lot of things got changed, and it turned upside down. So that was my experience of COVID. And you know I wouldn't say depression, because as Anne was telling us about it, it is a bigger term that we tend to use every day, but it's something does not, it normally usually does not encompass everything that is just about daily functioning. So yeah, near experience, but not depression, but it was a big experience for me.
Definitely, experiences might vary, and just as you said, that being isolated, being in your house, isolated in one space, can be difficult. Similarly, we have few experiences shared, being in lockdown, as expects flights and all were closed, and we couldn't go back to our families. So many deaths in past 2 years, and yes, helplessness and hopelessness. Yeah, definitely, regular change, sleep time. Yeah, definitely. These are many things that a lot of us have faced and we have gone through, right?
And I would also like to speak on this. Like, what about
Yes.
frustration? I think frustration is a very basic emotion which we are all going through. Maybe that is also leading to a lot of, kind of irritation, and we are losing track of things which we once liked. And that might also lead to uh, worry, tension, anxiety symptoms, and of course, sadness and isolation.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Being frustrated, or sometimes that frustration is not like when it comes out, it comes like in form of anger or aggression
Exactly.
towards others within the house or within
Absolutely.
the space we are in.
That anger
And
iceberg thing, on the surface it's irritation and frustration, but way below down there are so many other things which are putting us into isolation, especially when we are into the situation where we are helpless, we cannot even do anything about it. So the audience may be able to pen down a few things, or maybe able to understand what we are trying to relate to.
yes, ma'am, like
Maybe
they have been.
indirect ways of projecting what we say is loneliness.
Yes,
Yes, not
ma'am.
being able to say goodbye or
Goodbye to your loved one. Not being able to meet families, people who have been working abroad, and there have been situations where people haven't been able to meet their parents for a long time. These are few things that we might connect, because these are things we have been facing. And also, if we talk about workspace, yes, there was a hand raised. I think it was Abdullah. Would you like to speak?
No, sorry,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, it's okay. It's fine. So yeah, so as I was just saying that all of us are somewhere on the same page. We were saying that how things like where in we were in situations where we were unable to talk or engage with people whom we are close with our own families. It was very difficult, and all of us has have been in different spaces. Yeah, so we have one more knowing that he or she is going to die, and the grief part, the feeling of grief, or where we are not able to understand that will we be able to meet our loved ones again or not, and the sense of knowing that we will not be able to meet and still not being express it out. These are all things that we all have been through in this phase, in this period. Similarly, if we go through, these are certain prevalences that we see of this whole studies, or these are data that is collected from different studies conducted on Indian population. And I would like to move ahead where we'll be seeing how we can connect to the to the factors that we were discussing and how we can be able to manage it. And similarly, while talking about managing the situation or how to understand, there are the few important things that can help us to manage and create a self awareness, or a way that I myself or you yourself can work on. So in that situation also, it's very important for us to understand that a lot of times we even mislead the word anxiety with depression. It just becomes a little confusing at times for us, but it's very important to understand that both the terms are very different, right? And anxiety is something which is uh, can be leading to depression as a state, right? And it's very important to understand that these might come from a similar branch, but then these are not same words. Because if a person is very anxious, the condition can worsen, but it is not it is not something we can use interchangeably. It's very important for us to understand that. And as we can also see that how we'll be seeing that how we can manage as for ourselves, also for people around us, how we can manage our situations. And these are few techniques, maybe we can just go through them and understand that these are so if we go in terms of grief, we have been talking about grief. A lot of you have shared about losing loved ones, and also have you know put out you have mentioned about talking about how a person can feel like when you are not unable to grieve, that sadness or that grief that you one holds in, a sense of loneliness, and how we can cope with it. It's very important to understand how we should cope with all these situations of sorrow, of grief, of loneliness. And what happens is, these are few techniques we see, that these are few stages. If we go in terms of grief, there are 5 stages which are given. And this is a process, simple process that we can keep in our mind. Okay. And when you know somebody who has been through that phase, and if we go through this process, and if we know that somebody has skipped any one of these stages, or can we just ask, for example, if we take in terms of someone who's on the other side, who has been unable to has been stuck in one of these stages, or has skipped one of these stages, there we can be a need for them. We can be a space for them to hear and listen to us, understand, right? And at the same time, if you any one of you have been in this space, you can actually reach out to us as a you know a space where Emojar as a space where you can come and talk to us, and let out things that have been stuck, or the stage where you are in, and the space where you are in, you feel that you're stuck and you're not able to move from that particular space, right? These are few steps that this can be a resource to us. These methods, or this process can be a space to us where we can make use of it. So before we go ahead, I have a small activity for every one of us. It's just that I want everybody to take out a sheet of paper. All those who are comfortable, they can take out a sheet of paper right now, or others can maybe note down what the activity is and maybe try once later. But I would prefer if everybody can take out a sheet of paper and write down. So right now, what we'll be doing is we'll be trying to understand a few stressful situations that we or you, as anybody, like is facing or is having certain stressful events or triggers or issues that you're facing. I just want you to pen it down, and we'll take around 2 minutes for that. And once you're done, you have to just let us know through the chat box, or you can just raise your hand so that we know that you have penned it down. Okay. So can we go ahead with this activity? Can I have few yes or no, so that I know that you are interested, for you're up for this activity? Yes. Okay. So we can just have we can just take 2 minutes. It's 8:26. So we'll take 2 more minutes. By 8:28, we'll try to write down all the stressful events. Okay, I hope some of us have written it down. Okay, we'll take 1 more minute so that everybody can. Okay, so I hope everybody has done. Now, what will we do is we'll take another sheet, another plain sheet, where we'll try to draw a circle. And in the previous sheet, the issues or concerns that you have written, out of those which you feel you can control, you'll have to write down in this circle. Okay. Or just you can number those issues maybe, and just put the numbers which you feel you can control. You have to just mention in the circle. We'll take a minute to do it, to go through all the issues that we have faced or we are stressing about, and we'll try to write down those issues we think we can control in the circle. Okay, I hope everybody has done. Has everybody been able to write down in the circle the issues that they feel they can control? Okay, so if we go through, or if we try to understand, okay, so this circle is basically the circle of control that you might have about our life. If we see this in a way, we can understand that this circle can be seen as the space, that we can relate to ourselves. For example, if I talk about myself, uh, one issue that always I face after doing submitting a project, or appearing for any exam, is always that after the exam I'm always stressed about what would be the result. what would be the result, how I might be scoring. Because if we see towards it, if we see towards the situation I'm stressed about, is basically that I have completed my part, I studied, I gave the exam, and I'm done with my part, but I'm still stressed about what will be the result, which is definitely not in my hands. And what was in my hand is already done. I've passed, done my work of writing the exam and my part of studying. Still being stressed about a situation which is not in my control is not going to help me. Most of the times we all end up being a part of such a circle where we forget that there are certain things which are in our control and there are certain things which are not in our control. And stressing about things which we can't change or which are regardless of our choices, same can not help us. They don't tend to help us, right? So it's very important for us, whenever we are stressed about a lot of things or anything, to understand that which concern or which concern is in our control and about which we can work, and we can you know uh, are a result of our own choices. Because there are a lot of concerns we might have which are not a result of our choices, and being stressed about those will always lead us to be stressed as a whole about a lot of things. So, this activity as a whole, I feel, might help you all to understand, to make, a mind or to a set to understand which all things that you're stressed about, or which are things that are stressing you, has ha- which are having an effect on you. Definitely not necessarily that they have to stress you out, but some things might have an effect on us. So understanding that all the things that are having an effect on us, or all the things that are disturbing to us, out of those which we can control, is very necessary to understand. So if a certain thing which we can control is stressing us, so we can work on it. But if there are things that we cannot control, then stressing onto it or thinking about it, that just is somewhere down the lane, we are just making something which is not very important to be part of our life, and we're making it to be seen as important. So I hope this activity might have helped you all. Okay, so we'll go move ahead. From here, my fellow partner Anushka will be taking forward.
Thank you, Anne. So basically, what we talked about is, about dealing with everything, and the activity that we did right now was locus of control. What do you have in your control right now? So in the pandemic, everything felt out of control. We all might resonate with that fact. And something that you can do, in your idle time, or when you don't have things to do, or when things feel out of control, is trying to change our focus, trying to change our perspective. What we can do is, here you can see pictures of our relatives and our friends. They are trying to engage in things that they were not engaging before. In the pandemic, they got time and they started to engage in things like exercising, gardening, spending time with your family members. Cooking is something I think we all engaged in. We all became house chefs and master chefs. And engaging with your pets, dancing, making reels, making videos is something that you could also do. Whatever it is that you like to do, you can change your focus towards that. That is a perspective that you can maybe imbibe. So changing your focus is something that you can do. Distracting yourself now, distracting yourself towards things that you are fond of: music, cooking, the same thing that we talked about before earlier. When you change your focus towards something that you like doing, reading a book or something like that, which can engage you as well as um, distracts you from those overly stressful thoughts, is something that you can do. Next slide, please. Finding simple sources of joy while leading life. I think हम सब भूल गए हैं कि how to find that छोटा छोटा important things in life that give you happiness. Some people are very happy when they paint. They're not avid painters, but they paint and then they feel happy. So if that is, those are the small joys of your life, go ahead and do that, you know. Maintain a journal where you write down your feelings. Do window shopping if you do like it. Knit if you haven't tried for a long time, and if you feel like it's something that you can try out. So that is finding simple sources of joy in life. Maybe just take a walk in the park, you know, matlab, that is also something I can do. Then we have limit your consumption of news. We all know there's abundance of information coming from all of the sides, है ना? We have WhatsApp University, we have our news channels, we have a newspaper, everything is there, and there's too much information, and a lot of things are negative. A lot of information is also negative in terms of, you know, deaths that are coming up, cases that are rising, people who are suffering, and that is impacting our mental health negatively, which is again not something which is healthy, right? So limit all of that consumption by half, maybe one third, or maybe one fourth. Just give 30 minutes of your time each day to, you know, gain information for awareness. And not taking too much information is again something that we would like you to encourage. Maybe next slide. Maintain a routine. It is important that you have a routine, because in pandemic we are losing trace of time. We are at home doing online classes. That goes for your children also. This is something that you can also talk to your children about. You yourself, if you're working from home, maintaining a routine is important. Getting up at a time, setting up proper alarms for each of the things. If you're forgetting things, set up alarms for things. Going for a walk, get a little bit of exercise, because you're inside all the time. Then taking a shower is a must. Then, you know, sleeping, having a sleep hygiene is important. Keep your phones away 30 minutes before you're going to sleep, and just be with yourself is something that we would like you to encourage. Next slide, please. Expressing gratitude. अब हमें लगेगा ये this is very cheesy, okay, कि you know, how can I say thank you to my mother, or how can I say thank you to my brother? But expressing gratitude feels 10 times much better than just hearing a thank you. Sometimes when you hear a thank you, you feel so good, na? But expressing gratitude is much more, you know, um, how would I describe it? It's much more rewarding. When you express gratitude, you see that the other person is really happy that you have expressed gratitude to them. That makes you even 10 times happier. Coming from personal experience, I did a week of just expressing gratitude, and it changed my life. Now I express gratitude whenever I can. And it positively impacts you, because you're giving out positive emotions. It comes back to you in a way uh, where there's reciprocation. So expressing gratitude may be something, you know, maybe helps you feel more positive. So if you have a friend you have not connected with in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or maybe 6 months, just go and call them and thank them for whatever happy memories that you have had. Next slide, please. Now, how to really connect with others. This is an issue that people have come across, and you know, and they don't know how to do this. How do we connect with others? We know कि लोग are not in a very good situation. लोगों को परेशानी है, and we can see that, and we want to talk to them. तो कभी-कभी हम बात भी करते हैं. We tell them hi. They say hi. We say how are you? They say I'm fine. How are you? And we say okay, fine, we are good. And that's how it ends. Now you don't know how to go beyond that talk. So हमने small talk कर ली है, but how to move beyond that small talk? What you can do is very simple. Share something about yourself. These days I have been, you know, practicing this. I've been playing tennis, or you know, there has been too much pressure in the work. Just share something about yourself. Once you do that, you basically are opening your boundaries, and that, you know, makes the other person feel welcomed. They feel अच्छा अब ये इंसान कुछ share कर रहा है. They are really welcoming. That's really warm of them. Let me also share something, because that is how it works. Reciprocation is one of the most powerful principles in human connection and human communication. Once we break that barrier from our side, people are also willing to share things about themselves. So when they are sharing things about themselves, and when you are sharing things about yourself, the third thing that you need to keep in mind is nothing needs to get fixed. If you're listening to a perspective with the idea कि अरे कुछ solution निकालना पड़ेगा, ये problem है, that will not be very fruitful. That's not listening actively. That is trying to find a problem. That is trying to find an abnormality. That's trying to find solutions. But you are there going to be as a friend trying to listen to what the other person is saying. So try to listen to the other person with a perspective of nothing needs to get fixed is something that we would like to encourage. So this is how you can really connect, move beyond the small talk, share something about yourself, then have the idea nothing needs to get fixed. Have that as your mantra while talking to your friends. Next slide, please, Anne. Just that we talked about, having maintain a routine and everything. Adopting healthy habits can be very useful if you're dealing with depression or you have someone who's dealing with depression. These are some of the things that will make you feel that you are in a zone of normalcy. So getting moving is important, having a little bit of exercise, practicing relaxation relaxation techniques are nothing but simple methods of being with yourself. For example, breathing is a very simple relaxation technique. Whenever you're feeling very stressed or not very in the zone, you can just deep breathe 10 times, deep breathe and breathe out. Just do that 10 times and be with yourself, with your thought for just 10 minutes. Do this and you will feel very calm. Eat a mood boosting diet. We normally eat just a burger या थोड़ा fries खा लिया, but that is not a proper meal. Your body is not getting nutrients out of it for you to function healthily. So what we are here telling you to do is maintain a balanced diet. Have a portion of proteins, carbohydrates, green veggies, fiber, and a little bit of fruit in your daily balanced diet. So all of that is a must for you to function. Sleep well. We just talked about having a sleep hygiene, maintaining a sleep hygiene, keeping your phones away from you before you sleep, and taking 8 hours of sleep, because the better your mind is and the more refreshed it is next day, it'll help you cope better with all the stressful situations around you. You need to keep in mind, जब तक दिमाग नहीं चलेगा अगले दिन, you won't be able to cope with all the stressors that are coming to your face. Because life is going to throw all the stressors to your face. You'll just throw it like balls, and then if your mind is not functioning well, you won't be able to catch it and cope with it. So you need that sleep. Now एक और चीज जो होती है पैंडेमिक में और जो हुई भी है, and a lot of people are dealing with it, is pending deadlines and procrastination. Anyways, we're not like doing that 9 to 5 wala job, and it's really hard for us to do everything घर पे बैठे बैठे. What you can do is use reminders to keep yourself on track. Use reminders कि अच्छा मुझे ये assignment या ये काम इस दिन तक करना है, and just keep sending your reminders on the calendar that you have on your phone, or just mark it on the calendar that you have at home, which will help you stay on track. Okay. So one thing that is there, because deadlines, when they pile up, you feel guilty. अरे काम नहीं हो रहा है यार, मतलब it's too much work, I'm feeling guilty. Then you feel like, oh my god, this is so much stress, and you're not able to enjoy life on the daily basis. So it's better to keep things get done at the instant. Next slide, please. And so before we talk about mindfulness and meditation, as you can see on the slide, we're doing a small activity. You can just raise your hand if you're present and in listening. We are doing a very small chodas activity which you can do. Thank you, Riya ma'am. Thank you, Briha. Everybody else, are you here? Okay. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so we'll do a small
in the chat as well.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. So we'll do a small activity. Just have a pen or paper, or you can also use a chat box if you are comfortable for you to jot down things. Okay. So we're doing a 5 4 3 2 1 grounding technique. This is something that you can do in your daily life whenever you feel very stressed. ठीक है, बहुत ज़्यादा stress हो रहा है, you're very anxious, very stressed, or in a state of panic, or there are too many things going on. You can just do this. So first things first, I want you to just sit down, take a deep breath with me. Okay, just breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Now, the first step is to look around the room that you are in, or in the setting that you are in, and just name 5 things that you can see around you. Just write it in the chat box or write it on the piece of paper. Whatever it is, you can just write it down somewhere. So write down 5 things that you can see around you. For instance, a painting on the wall, or if you can see a car, you can write that. Think about how that thing looks to you, or what it is that you don't like, or don't like about it, or like about it. Just give it 30 seconds. Okay, just write down 5 things that you can see around you. Okay, thank you for the responses. We'll take 10 more seconds, and just you can jot down 5 things that you can see around you. Okay, now we will focus on 4 things that you can feel. Thank you, Abdullah. Thank you, Anne. Now, 4 things that you can feel around you. Now, suppose that you notice that a wind is blowing through, wind is blowing through your hair, or how the sun feels on your skin if it's um, daytime wherever you are. It can be helpful to say these things out loud, such as I can feel the couch that I'm sitting on, or I can feel the quilt that I'm taking. I can feel the pillow that I am, leaning on. So just 4 things that you can feel. So just jot down 4 things that you can feel. Thank you, Shafaq. Let's take 10 more seconds and write down 4 things that we can feel. So are we done with the 4 things that we can feel? We'll move on to, okay. Thank you, Meena. Thank you, Bria. Okay. Now the third step is, we have done 5, 4. Now there is 3, 2, 1. So the third step is to name 3 things that you can hear around you. For example, you may become aware of the traffic in the background, or some birds chirping in the nearby trees. So any 3 things that you can hear. Like I can hear the phone. Okay, thank you, Shafaq. Anybody else who would like to tell me 3 things that you can hear? Okay, and water splashing, TV volume, children playing. Great. We'll take 10 more seconds. Light, mirror, biscuit. Thank you, Abdullah. Kiran, TV, dog barking, clock sound. Briha, ticking of clock. Bed crackling sound, water drop sound. Thank you so much. Now the fourth step. Thank you, Meena. Thank you. Fourth step. Thank you, Nidhi. The fourth step is to notice two things that you can smell around you right now. To illustrate, you may notice the smell of smell of the grass, or perhaps the smell of perfume wafting around you. If you can't smell anything, then it might be helpful to name 2 or 3 smells that you like, such as fresh baked bread or a flower. So any 2 things that you can smell right now, or 2 things that you like the smell of, if you can't smell anything right now. Okay, thank you, Kiran. Thank you, Shafaq. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Briha. Wow. So someone's cooking halwa also. Someone can smell soup. It's a season of soups. Great, great. Thank you for the responses. And the last and fifth step, okay, room freshener. And the last and the fifth step is to focus on one thing that you can taste. If you can't taste anything, then instead you can choose to name a taste that you like. So anything that you can taste right now that is lingering on in your mouth. So I had mutton curry in the afternoon, and it's still there. So I can taste that. Chocolate, okay, biryani, cake, honey, chili chips, coffee cake, the tea. Oh, I'm very hungry now. Coffee, great. So now that we have done all of the steps of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, this brings us to the present. What we just did is a mindfulness technique. We became familiar with our senses. We engaged all of our senses with our environment. So just as Anne was talking about, locus of control, jo ho chuka hai, which is in the past, which we can't change, we keep worrying about that. There are things that are going to happen in the future we don't have control over. We keep worrying about that. Rather than doing all of these things. Yes, Abdullah, would you like to say something?
Five things, madam. Pardon.
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 means
Yes.
5 things we see. Write
Yes.
it now.
Yes.
And 4 things we feel.
Yes.
And 3 things
That we can hear.
hear.
Yes. Hear.
Yes. And 2 things we
We
smell.
can smell. Yes.
Yeah. 1 thing
We can taste.
taste.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
So we engage with the senses and we became aware of what is around us in our present situation. This helps us to stay in the present rather than focus on the past or the future, right? We are in the present. Things that we can control are here right now. So once you engage your senses with the present scenario, with your present situation, you became more calm and you know that this is somewhere that I'm grounded. So this is also called a grounding mindfulness technique. You become grounded in the particular state that you are in, and you became familiar with what you have control over. So this is a very widely used techniques with people who are feeling very stressed, very anxious, not being able to understand what is going on. This could be very helpful for you to ground yourself. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. This is something that you can just have a poster. You can also help your family members learn, if they want to, and if they're stressed out. This is something that you can practice daily in your life whenever you feel stressed. Mindfulness is just another thing, another technique which you can use in your daily life, which helps you come to your here and now. Here and now, as I talked about, is coming to the present rather than dealing with your past thoughts or your future. So spend time out in nature, practicing breathing techniques, just as we did, deep breathing before the activity. Check in with your emotions, say positive affirmations like, I can do it, I will do it, I know I can be um, both out of control and grounding technique. Yes. Um, thank you so much, Kiran. Mindfully listening to music. हम क्या करते हैं, कई बार हम गाना सुन रहे हैं, but we are also listening to the lyrics and reminiscing about past memories and feeling sad. किसी का breakup हो गया, for example, and someone is listening to that song, a breakup song, and then you starting to relate those, all of those, and starting to feeling sad. All of that has been done, but what we need to come here and come into tune is here and now. So what you can do is just focus on the beats, focus on the lyrics, focus on how the song is, and be with it in here and now rather than reminiscing old memories. That is something that we would like you to encourage. Being whatever you're doing right now, even if you're eating, just be mindfully eating it. We watch TV and eat, so don't do that. Just eat, spend time with what you're doing right now. So draw, color, or doodle, garden, or do yard work, take photos. Spend time with the present, not worrying about the future or the past. Meditation is another technique through which you can be in tune with your emotions and your thoughts and your emotions. Take care. Once you are dealing with all of your emotions every day, you are in tuning yourself. So when you meditate, what happens is you become more aware of the thoughts that are coming to your mind every day. Agar kuch stressful hai, once you're meditating and you are dealing with your subconscious and unconscious thoughts, you talk to yourself, right? When you're meditating, you talk to your subconscious thoughts, and that helps you talk and you resolve all the conflicts that are deep down there every day. So once you start having this habit of meditation, it will help you resolve issues that you, वैसे तो हम repress कर देते हैं ना हमारे सारे emotions, हमारे सारे all the build up of emotions that are coming to our mind, हम वो repress कर देते हैं. Rather than that, why not meditate and deal with emotions on a daily basis? That is there. Next slide, please, Anne. This is a self-care checklist. 31 day self-care challenge, another one. We are also planning to prepare a self-care, a kit that we will be mailing to all of you, which you can, refer to in your daily life. These are checklists that you can do. Try something new. हमने आज कुछ नया try किया. Go on and check that out. Go on a nature walk. We did it today. So go and check that out. These are things that you can do for your own self. Self-care is the most important thing during this pandemic, during this stressful situation that we're all going through. So do things that will make you happy and where you engage yourself with yourself. ठीक है, हम engage तो बहुत चीजों पे करते हैं, हम Netflix देख लेते हैं, हम दूसरों के लिए काम कर लेते हैं. We keep ourselves on a very second seat, on a very low priority sometimes. So this challenge will make sure that you at least give yourself that one thing in a day where you're keeping yourself on a priority. Okay, so you can take a screenshot for now if you want to, but we will be mailing your self-care kit. Okay, let's move forward. How can I help with someone with depressive symptoms? It can be you, your friends, or people around you. It is important that you understand and recognize depression symptoms. We did talk about depression and how there are 10 very common symptoms that we talked about in the pie chart wala slide that Anne was showing us. If you see there are these things that are going on around with you or someone else that recognize and understand that these are their things that they're going through. Encourage that person or yourself to get help. It's okay to not be okay, as the graphic says there. It's okay not to be okay, and encourage the person to get help. Go for psychotherapy. Yes, Nidhi. You want to say
Yeah, I
something?
have a question, Anush. Yeah, I want to actually ask you something. So, when there was this client who I knew, and they had got with anxiety, a lot of anxiety, they
Yeah,
had developed depression, like
right,
later stages.
right.
So when that happened, so like I want to know exactly when you're getting that anxiety attack, right? We use the 5 4 3 2 1 technique, the
Yeah, yeah,
grounding
yeah.
technique,
Yeah, we can use that.
right? But what if the person is not ready to do any breathing, deep breathing, or actually do the 5 4 3 2 1 technique? Then in that case, what are we going to do? Because they are just not ready.
Not
For them, the
willing to
world is
do,
coming to an
yeah,
yeah,
right. So one thing's one, it should be voluntary. One thing is that
right.
as a practitioner, we also need to think about if the person is voluntarily coming and taking part in the activity that we're doing. So one thing is that if they're not willing to do the breathing technique, Nidhi, one thing that I did with my
Hmm.
client who were not willing was just being with them, just being there with them in that situation, and let them come in terms with what they are trying to tell you. So if they are going through a situation where they're too anxious, or they're going through a very tough situation where there's too much anxiety, there's too much panic, or there's a very stressful situation, and they don't want to practice all of the breathing techniques or grounding techniques, you just be with them as a practitioner. That is the most that you can do at that point of time. We will also be dealing with this a little more detailed with Ria ma'am, because I think she will be able to give you a little more insight to this, um, as a more experienced practitioner. So once we're done with this, you can stay a bit for 5 minutes, and then we can discuss this particular issue in a little more detail. Or Ria ma'am, would you like to take it now?
Yes.
Sure, sure, will do. Thank you.
Anushka, as you were saying that being with the client is very important. Even I feel so, because hearing them out almost always helps with anxiety and venting out. The more you vent out, the more you talk about things, the more you expose yourself to the anxiety situation, the better you start feeling. You start accepting the anxiety situation. So that's the only way out with anxiety. Maybe if you're dealing online. Okay, offline, you can still do a lot of activities with the client, but online, it wouldn't be possible to do certain things. You cannot handhold the client as such, but you can always be there, hear them out, what they are trying to talk about, let them vent out to the maximum extent. So that helps a lot.
Thank you, Riya ma'am. I done that, but I was just, wondering if there is another way out. So because I did try, doing the grounding technique, letting him have the, do the breathing, do the ground, but nothing was working. So then I just stopped. I just, let the person be as they are, and let
Right.
him vent out whatever, he was feeling. After that,
Exactly.
after 1 hour, then he calmed down a little bit. Then we did the grounding. So I just wanted to know if there is another perspective, or another way that we can do this.
See, many of the clients, they are extremely logical, they want immediate actions based on logic. So, with these kinds of clients, you have to be there and listen to them rather than suggesting them certain techniques which they feel might not just work out. But until and unless they are motivated enough to do it, you need to just be there with them, to build that trust and to build that belongingness, so that they can move forward with you. And then eventually, maybe you can do it with them like we did it in the session. Maybe you can try it out in a different way with colors or objects, or there are several other methods through which you can do grounding.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nidhi. We'll just wrap it up in the next. There are not too many slides left. So we were talking about how to encourage the person to get help. And 1 minute, can we go back? And can we go back to the last slide?
Yeah, I think this was
Yeah. So encouraging the person to get help is important. If you know that you are dealing with this kind of emotions, or these are the kind of symptoms that you're having, or someone else is having, encourage them to get help. And the help that we're talking about, we'll be dealing with it in the last slide. Supporting your loved one's treatment is very important. Whatever treatment they're going through, have that kind of regard and respect toward that treatment that they're opting. You may not be very, in tune with what they're going through or what kind of treatment they're taking, but just respect their decision of that kind of treatment that they have opted out for. One thing that is very tabooed and we don't really talk about it is the risk of suicide, but it is very real. The risk of suicide, there was a statistics that just came out some months back regarding COVID, and there were more deaths through suicide than through COVID in the last 2021 and 2020 to 2021 wala year. So there were more deaths through suicide than COVID in the last 1 year, which is something which is frighteningly there, but it is a fact. So talking about suicide, dying, or harming oneself, or preoccupation with death, if you see that, expressing feelings of hopelessness or self-hate, or acting in dangerous or self-destructive ways, these are all symptoms or warning signs of depression. They are also warning signs of suicidal ideation, which can lead to depression, severe depression. So this is something that you can always keep your eyes open to, and keep yourself in check, yourself as well as people around you. If you see that there is these are the signs that are coming up, please seek help, or give them information regarding how to seek help. Taking care of yourself is important. We did just talk about self-care, so that is something that you can do, keeping yourself in priority. If it is becoming very overwhelming for you, people around you are in depression, and if it is becoming very overwhelming for you, please seek help. Take time for yourself, and you know be with yourself. It is very important to keep yourself in priority while dealing with people around you in depression. Next slide, please. And how to talk to someone about depression. We definitely have the red ones saying what you should avoid saying. Don't say things like, this is all in your head, everyone goes through tough times, sabke saath hota hai. Try to look on the bright side. Why do you want to die when you have so much to live for? I can't do anything about your situation. Just snap out of it. You should be feeling better by now. What you can say that helps is, you're not alone. I'm here for you during this tough time. It may be hard to believe right now, but the way you're feeling will change. And even if I'm not able to understand exactly how you feel, I care about you and want to help. You're important to me. Your life is important to me. When you want to give up, tell yourself you will hold on for just one more day, an hour, or minute, whatever you can manage. So in the blue side of the slide, you can see things that validate their emotions, but you're also telling them that it's okay to feel the way they're feeling. You're not trying to negate it, because once you negate it, it becomes more subjugating for them, which is something that we don't want. It's okay to feel the way you're feeling, but seek help in every way possible during this tough time, for yourself and for people around you. Try to encourage seeking help. Next slide. So when to seek professional help, there are two ways to seek professional help and help. There's pharmacotherapy, which is your medication, and then there's psychotherapy. Pharmacotherapy is mostly given by psychiatrists, people who have studied in medicine, MBBS and MD in psychiatry. But we have psychotherapy. Okay, so psychotherapy is mostly given by clinical psychologists, counselors, and people like that. So psychotherapy, we have cognitive behavior therapy, जैसे हम लोग के बहुत सारे प्रोसीजर्स होते हैं राइट इन मेडिसिन. For example, if there is a heart disease and there are different procedures or different techniques that you can use to give person, get rid of that particular illness. The same way, to deal with depression, there have been a lot of therapies that have been developed by renowned psychologists over the years. Cognitive behavior therapists, interpersonal therapy, so PCT, person-centered therapy. A lot of therapies have been developed that we can practice with you. Psychoeducation of family members, peer support can be very helpful, particularly after disasters. So support groups, counseling groups are made where people come and share their experiences, which is very helpful. So there's like a collective consciousness that is coming to your mind, all of that. Next slide. Lastly, we would just like to say, if you do choose psychotherapy, and if you would like help, and if you would like to reach out, Emojar is an organization that is here to help you out. We are providing free 5 counseling sessions to anybody who is willing to, take counseling and wants to talk to someone, wants to seek help, as we talked about. We would be here to help you out with that. We will be mailing you with all the information, a little more detailed information about what is counseling and how to go about it. And then you can revert us back regarding the same if you want to, avail the services that we're offering of 5 sessions of counseling. But before yes, you can also go and register in the link that has been provided below. All in all, if you want to reach out, we are here to support you. We are here to listen to you without any judgments, without any bias. You can reach out to us. So that is all for today from my side. And if you would like to say something.
Yeah, I mean, just as Anushka said, like we started from understanding the basics and the theoretic part of what it is, and we try to practice few, exercises and to understand how things can work. So you all can like register to the link that Ria ma'am has just shared in the chat if you are willing to take a session, or else if you know somebody who is in need and who would like to take these free counseling sessions, can take this as an opportunity. And this is not just in terms of depression, or this is not just in terms of like if you are having an issue. Counseling sessions always helps us, not just when we are in an issue. Sometimes it helps us to understand ourselves. And being somebody who has taken previously, I think it has helped me a lot when I was not understanding why, like, do I have an issue or not, or it was just a way for me to understand myself. So similarly, it doesn't have to be that if you're going for counseling, there has to be an issue or you have an issue. It's not necessary. So you can reach out to us anytime you want, and you can even make use of that link, or and also be part of the upcoming sessions. And we hope this was a very fruitful session. And if anybody has any doubts or any questions, you can go ahead, and we will be there. And we have Ria ma'am would be like help us in answering the questions. Ma'am, would you like to add something?
First of all, thank you so much, Anne and Anushka, for conducting this session. It was really engaging and meaningful. I'm pretty sure the audience also found some meaning in the sessions. And as you said, it's not only one session that we are focusing on that we'll give free, but since counseling is a procedure, it's just not a one-time thing. So we thought of at least approximately 5 sessions per person. So we are taking in approximately 10 free sessions. So if you know anyone who will be benefited by free sessions, you can always register on the link. We'll also send the resources as already spoken about through the mail. So in case you have not registered through the website, please do so, because then we can send all the documents and your certificates via mail. So I think this is it. And thank you so much for being with us for more than an hour and, listening to us patiently. So if you have any questions, you can always mail us, or if you have any questions right now, you can always talk to us. I guess no one has any questions, but yes, you can always reach out.
I have.
Yes, please go ahead.
Ma'am, I'm doing a grief counseling. So one of my clients, she has lost her parents and brother, younger brother,
Okay.
and she came via some other connection. So I
Mhm.
tried twice to do her counseling, and she just listened to me. And I prompt her many times. Okay, you can just share your stories, and it's like you can be very free, or like you can freely say whatever you want to. I'm here
Mhm.
to help you.
Right.
But the thing was, she bluntly told me, okay, I am not interested in this, which I understand. And she told me, I don't believe in counseling,
Okay.
which I understand in her state of mind. So
Mm-hmm.
now, what should I do? Like, I'm trying everything, like giving her some tips about how to control her anxiety and everything. So as and when I learn something, I share that tips with her,
Mm-hmm.
which she acknowledge, and sometimes she does,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes she doesn't.
Okay.
So yes, even I tried color therapy, but she doesn't follow that.
Right. See, over here, what I feel, grief is something very personal, and if you keep on suggesting
Hmm.
certain things, they will never work on it because
Okay.
you just cannot get up, try something, and then forget about the entire sorrow what you have inside. So it's more
Hmm.
like you growing bigger around the sorrow with time. So time is the only key about grief counseling. You just have to be present with the person. Even moments of silence works a lot because if the person doesn't want to share anything at all, you can just remain silent and maybe talk about certain things which they are doing right now or certain day-to-day activities which they are engaging in. You can use the method of sliding scale where you can ask them that how are you feeling today, or what a small thing can make a difference to you in your mood. Okay, a tiny thing which can maybe um, make you a little bit more happier. Okay, so maybe you can
Okay.
try this out, just being there with the person and not talking much or suggesting much. It should be more of a client centered approach.
Actually, she is out of Mumbai, so it's a virtual session with her.
Right.
It's not face to face. So
I
that's why I'm
understand.
facing a bit of difficulty.
Right. See, online sessions are a little difficult because you cannot do much. You cannot kind of monitor the entire session. But of course,
Yes.
just being there, talking about
Hmm.
day-to-day activities, what she's doing, if there is any change in her temperament or mood,
Hmm.
gradually the person will open up. So focus more on rapport building rather than making her feel better.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that you cannot do it in one day. The person will
Hmm.
come out eventually. Maybe the person will never come out of that situation.
Hmm.
It might happen that I feel sorrow throughout my life about a particular person. It's very personal. So I will
Hmm.
not suggest that, do something and it will be done with. So
Okay.
we carry our grief throughout our lives, but we just learn how to grow around it. So maybe you can initiate certain things which she can build upon.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
There has been a concern regarding the
Yeah,
link.
the link. I think we had tried this out. Maybe you can do it through a different mail ID. I'm sending the link again, Madhurima. In case it's not working, can you please drop me a message? I'm sending my number as well. Or you can mail us, either ways. Okay, in case someone would like to avail the services, you can always get in touch. All right, it was lovely meeting all of you. And thank you so much again, Anne and Anushka, for joining in and sharing your insights also, and the audience as well. And we'll come up with more workshops regarding these techniques and all, which you can also utilize in your sessions or even for your personal self. Thanks a lot. Take care, all of you. Good night. Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, everyone. for
everyone. Thank
joining
you,
in.
ma'am.